I used to love birthdays. Not because of presents, not because of cake, but because for most of my life birthdays meant my daughter Ellie standing on a chair in the kitchen, frosting on her cheek, insisting she was helping me bake my own cake. "Don't peek, Dad," she'd shout, even though the cake was sitting right in front of me. Back then it wasn't about the day, it was about us. Now I'm 63 and for the past 7 years my birthday has meant something else entirely. A polite phone call, a rushed apology and the same explanation. "Dad, I'm so sorry, the tournament is this weekend. You know how important it is to Mark's family." Mark is my son-in-law, good job, good manners, good smile, the kind of man people describe as solid. He comes from one of those families where everyone wears matching polo shirts to events and talks about legacy like it's a sacred word. They also run youth sports tournaments, big ones, travel teams, sponsorship banners, trophy ceremonies. Apparently, these tournaments are immovable objects in the universe. And somehow, they always land on my birthday weekend. The first time it happened, I didn't think much of it. Ellie had been married less than a year. I told her, "Of course you should go, we'll celebrate another day." And we did, or at least we tried. She stopped by 3 weeks later with a grocery store cake and a distracted smile, checking her phone every few minutes because Mark needed help organizing post-event invoices. I blew out candles while she stood near the doorway. "It's just a busy season, Dad," she said. I nodded. Seasons pass. Except this one never did. Year 2 I planned ahead. "Let's celebrate the weekend before," I suggested casually during one of our Sunday calls. There was a pause, a soft exhale. "Oh, that's the regional qualifier. It's even bigger than the regular tournament." "Right," I said quickly, "of course." We pushed it to the following weekend. Mark came along that time. He shook my hand firmly and told me about attendance numbers and vendor partnerships while Ellie cleared plates. I remember watching her across the table. She looked tired, thinner, quieter. When I walked them to the door, I said, "You don't have to make everything perfect, you know." She frowned. "What do you mean?" "Nothing," I lied. By year 4, I stopped planning anything at all. It's a strange thing, realizing you've become optional. Friends would ask, "Big plans for your birthday?" And I'd shrug, "Oh, keeping it low-key." The truth was I kept the day open, just in case. Just in case she surprised me. Just in case she said, "You know what, this year I'm coming home." But every year, right on schedule, my phone would light up. "Dad, I hate to do this." And I would say, "Sweetheart, it's fine." Because what else was I supposed to say? The 7th year was different. Not because she came, but because I finally didn't pretend it didn't hurt. 2 weeks before my birthday, Ellie called me out of the blue. "Dad, are you doing anything special this year?" My heart did something stupid and hopeful. "Well," I said carefully, "I thought maybe we could do dinner, just us." There was a silence that stretched too long. "Oh, Dad." And I knew. The championship series is that weekend. It's the biggest one of the year. Mark's parents are counting on us. Us. That word felt heavier than it should have. "I see," I replied. "You understand, right?" I looked around my kitchen, the same kitchen where she once smeared frosting on my nose and laughed so hard she hiccuped. "Yes," I said, "I understand." But that night I didn't sleep. I kept replaying memories like an old film reel. Ellie at 5, running into my arms after kindergarten. Ellie at 16, crying when her first boyfriend broke her heart. Ellie at 24, walking down the aisle, squeezing my hand before we reached the altar. "Don't let go yet," she whispered. I never thought I would. Somewhere along the way, though, she had. On the morning of my birthday, I didn't stay home. Instead, I drove 3 hours to the town where the championship tournament was being held. I told myself I just wanted to see it, to understand what was so important that it eclipsed everything else. The sports complex was enormous, fields stretching in every direction, banners snapping in the wind, parents shouting encouragement from foldable chairs. I parked and walked slowly toward the main field. I spotted Ellie almost immediately. She was near a registration table, clipboard in hand, hair pulled into a tight ponytail. She looked efficient, focused, different. Mark stood beside his father, both of them gesturing toward a scoreboard. I stood there for a long moment, unnoticed. Then Ellie turned. Our eyes met across the crowd. The color drained from her face. Dad. She hurried over, weaving through people. What are you doing here? I smiled gently. I thought I'd see what all the excitement was about. Her gaze flickered toward Mark. You should have told me. I didn't want to interrupt. You're not interrupting, it's just, she lowered her voice, it's chaotic today. I glanced around at the chaos, seems that way. She hesitated. Do you want to sit? I can get someone to find you a chair. I realized then that I was being treated like a guest, a visitor. Not her father. No, that's okay, I said, I won't stay long. Mark approached, offering his usual firm handshake. Sir, great to see you, big day today. So I've heard. He launched into statistics, teams, sponsors, attendance projections. Ellie stood quietly beside him. When he was called away, she stayed. I didn't know you were coming, she repeated. I know. Dad, are you upset? I looked at her carefully. Do you want the honest answer? Her eyes softened. Yes. Yes, I said simply, I am. She flinched. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know you didn't. But this is important to Mark's family, they've built this from nothing, it's tradition. And what are we? I asked quietly. She stared at me, caught off guard. We're family, she said quickly. Then why does it feel like I'm the optional one? Her eyes filled before she could stop them. It's not like that. Isn't it? For the first time in years, I didn't smooth things over, I didn't tell her it was fine. I just stood there with the truth between us. I miss you, I said. The words seemed to crack something open. She pressed her lips together. I miss you too. Then why do I only get the leftovers? That did it. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I didn't realize, she whispered. I thought you understood, you've always been so steady, so okay with everything. I was trying to be supportive, I said, but supportive doesn't mean invisible. She let out a shaky breath. I've been trying so hard to fit into Mark's world. His parents expect so much. If we're not there, it becomes this whole thing. They say we're not committed. And what do you say? She looked away. I don't say anything. There it was. My little girl still trying to please everyone. Ellie, I said gently, you don't have to earn your place in a family. If they make you feel like you do, that's not love, that's pressure. She wiped her cheeks. I don't even like the tournaments, she admitted in a rush. I mean, I don't hate them, but every year I feel guilty. I think about you at home alone and I tell myself we'll make it up next week, but next week turns into next month and we drift, I finished. She nodded. Behind us a whistle blew, someone called her name. She looked torn. I placed a hand on her shoulder. Go, I said softly, finish what you started today. Her voice trembled, will you still be here after? I'll be around. She hesitated, then did something she hadn't done in years. She hugged me tightly, not the polite, quick embrace at the doorway. A real one. Happy birthday, Dad, she whispered against my chest. It wasn't much. But it was real. I stayed through the final match. I watched her move through the crowd, not as someone overshadowed but as someone capable. When the trophies were handed out and the applause died down, she found me again. Come to dinner with us, she said. With Mark's family. She nodded, yes, and after that I want to drive back with you tomorrow, just us, spend the day together. I searched her face. You're sure? Yes. That night at a loud restaurant filled with tournament talk, Ellie reached for my hand under the table. A small gesture, but intentional. The next morning she followed me home in her own car. We spent the day the way we used to, coffee on the porch, an old movie playing in the background, takeout from the place she loved as a teenager. At one point she looked at me and said, next year I'm blocking the weekend, no tournaments, no excuses. I smiled. I won't hold you hostage to it. You're not a hostage, she said firmly, you're my father. There was strength in her voice I hadn't heard before. Maybe growing up isn't about choosing one family over another. Maybe it's about learning that love doesn't need to compete. My 63rd birthday wasn't perfect. It didn't have candles or surprises. But it had something better. Honesty. And sometimes that's the gift that changes everything. Next year. We'll see. But for the first time in a long time, I'm not keeping the day open out of hope. I'm keeping it open because I believe she'll be there.